and welcome. You're watching Unplugged TV India. This is Alice Francis. Let's catch some major updates from around the world. On camera, UP cop savagely thrashing men involved in protest against prophet remark. Around 9 men beg and try to block blows raining incessantly on them from 2 policemen armed with sticks in what appears to be a police station, but in vain. Video of the incident shared by an Uttar Pradesh BJP MLA on Twitter with the caption, "Return gift for writers" have triggered criticism of the cops and allegations of police brutality by the opposition. MLA Shalabh Mani Tripathi is a former journalist and used to be media advisor to Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. Tripathi shared no details of where the incident took place or when. According to reports, the video was shot 2 days ago in a police station in Saharanpur, where protests and clashes erupted after Friday prayers over the controversial remark against Prophet Muhammad by 2 former BJP spokespersons. Former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav said such incidents would damage people's faith in the justice system. Bulldozers out for second day in UP, target is Prayagraj violence accused. A day after raising down homes of 2 of the accused in Uttar Pradesh Saharanpur over violence over recent remark by former BJP spokesperson on Prophet Muhammad, bulldozers rolled down in Prayagraj under heavy police presence and started demolishing the home of a politician accused of leading violence on Friday. Visuals shot by news crews showed bulldozers raising gates and outer walls of accused Javed Mohammed, a Prayagraj-based politician who the police claim is one of the masterminds behind the Friday violence in the city. There was major stone throwing in at least 2 Prayagraj localities, and it took the police over 5 hours to restore peace. Demolitions were also carried in Kanpur, where violent clashes and stone throwing took place on June 3 over the same issue. The Uttar Pradesh police have arrested over 300 people from various districts in the state in connection with Friday's protest and violence, with Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath warning of strictest action against those attempting to vitiate the atmosphere. Air Force plans to build 96 fighter jets in India. Amid a big push for the Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led government, the Indian Air Force is planning to acquire 114 fighter jets, of which 96 would be built in India and the rest 18 would be imported from the foreign vendor chosen for the project. The Indian Air Force has plans of acquiring 114 multi-role fighter aircraft under Buy Global and Make in India scheme, under which Indian companies would be allowed to partner with a foreign vendor. As per the plan, after the initial 18 aircrafts are imported, the next 36 aircraft would be manufactured within the country and the payments would be made partially in foreign currencies and Indian currencies, the sources said. It also added that the last 60 aircraft would be the main responsibility of the Indian partner and the government would make payments only in Indian currency. The IAF is also looking for a cost-effective solution for its fighter jet requirement, as it wants a plane that is low on operational cost and gives more capability to the service. The IAF is highly satisfied with the operational availability of the Rafale fighter jets and wants similar capability in its future aircraft. Will fight to the end, says China after US remarks on Taiwan. China will fight to the very end to stop Taiwan from declaring independence, the country's defense minister vowed on Sunday, as tensions soar with the United States over the island. They said, "We will fight at all cost and we will fight to the very end. This is the only choice for China." Defense Minister Wei Fenghe told the Shangri-La Dialogue Security Summit in Singapore. He said, "Those who pursue Taiwanese independence is an attempt to split China will definitely come to no good end. No one should ever underestimate the resolve and ability of the Chinese armed forces to safeguard its territorial integrity." His speech came a day after U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin accused China of provocative, destabilizing military activity close to the island. Beijing views democratic self-ruled Taiwan as part of its territory, awaiting reunification by force if necessary. US-China tensions over the islands have risen due to particular to a growing number of Chinese aerial incursions into Taiwan's air defense zone. Beijing warns of explosive COVID outbreak as Shanghai begins mass testing. China's capital, Beijing, is facing an explosive COVID-19 outbreak connected to a bar, a government spokesperson warned on Saturday, as the commercial hub of Shanghai began mass testing to contain a jump in cases tied to a popular beauty salon. The warning followed a renewed tightening of COVID curbs in Beijing since Thursday, with at least 2 districts, including its most populous Shaoyang, closing certain entertainment venues after a flare-up in a busy neighborhood known as its nightlife, shopping and streets of embassies. While China's infection rate is low by global standards, President Xi Jinping has doubled down on a zero-COVID policy that authorities say is needed to protect the elderly and the medical system, even as other countries try to live with the virus. So far, the country of 1.4 billion has seen a total of just 5,226 fatalities. Russian passports given to Ukrainians in occupied cities. No end in the sight to the conflict, the Russian authorities on Saturday began handing out passports to the residents living in the occupied city of Kherson in southern Ukraine. 23 Kherson residents have reportedly received their Russian passport at a special event. The development comes as Russia attempts to tighten its hold over the besieged Kherson in a war that has been raging since February. Kherson was one of the first cities that it conquered in the initial days of the war. The decree signed by Russian President Vladimir Putin in May facilitated the passport's authorization. It also concerned the nearby Zaporizhia region, which is partly controlled by Moscow's forces. He said all our Kherson residents want to obtain a passport, a Russian passport and citizenship as soon as possible. Russia Day falls on Sunday and is a republic holiday to mark its independence from the former Soviet Union. It is an occasion for many Russians to display national pride. Ukraine denounced the move as a flagrant violation of its territorial integrity, saying President Putin's decree was legally void. Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24, and since then it has been making gradual advancements. The troops had reached the Kyiv border, and after failing to make gains there, the forces have moved to the southern and eastern parts of the country, now where it is already has some local support. US inflation at new 40-year high as price increases spread. The prices of gas, food and most other goods and services jumped in May, raising inflation to a new 4-decade high and giving American households no respite from rising costs. Consumer prices surged 8.6% last month from a year earlier, faster than April's year-over-year increase of 8.3%. The Labor Department said on Friday the new inflation figure, the highest since 1981, will heighten pressure on the Federal Reserve to continue raising interest rates aggressively. Meanwhile, gas prices rose 4% just in May and have scored nearly 50% in 1 year. The cost of groceries surged nearly 12% last month from a year earlier, the biggest such increase since 1979. Rising prices for grain and fertilizers after Russia's war against Ukraine is intensifying that rise. Restaurant prices jumped 7.4% in the past year, the largest 12-month gain since 1981, reflecting higher costs for foods and workers. Rampant inflation is posing severe pressure on families. Low income and Black and Hispanic Americans in particular are struggling because, on average, a larger portion of their income is consumed by necessities. Thank you for watching Unplugged TV India. Please hit like, subscribe and share, and also press the bell icon to get the latest updates.